You're listening to the Confidence Coach Podcast, episode 54, How to Have Confident Conversations in Your Life and in Your Sales. All right, what's up, guys? Today I want to take a little bit different swing on things and talk about sales and having confidence in your sales. Whether you have a career that you make sales in, whether you're a network marketer that you make sales in, whether you're running your own business and you want to increase sales, I want to talk about how to have conversations and how to convert those conversations into sales. I don't know why I don't talk about this more often. Sales is kind of my superpower, having conversations, building relationships, connecting people. It is. It's one of my superpowers. I've always been really good at sales. I've always been really good about talking to people, not making them feel super uncomfortable, and really just figuring out what it is that they want and how I can be of service, or how I can recommend somebody to be of service, somebody that would fit their particular needs. And so I've come up with kind of a list here on some of the most frequently asked questions that I get for sales, whether it be the sales in my Confidence Mastery, whether it be sales that I do for other coaches or other businesses, things like that. Like, this is something that I always teach and do. So I'm not really sure why it's taken me 8 months to talk about this on the podcast. But this morning I felt really compelled to talk about confident sales. Okay. So here are 7 things. I have 7 things that I want to talk about today. And then on another podcast, if you guys are interested, I would love to talk about some objections that we get in sales and just the whole sales conversation, that whole sales process. Those 2 things are like entirely different topics. So if you're interested in learning more about sales, objections, having conversations with people, building that confidence in yourself to where you don't take things personally, I want you to DM me. DM me on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. Snap a picture of this podcast, tag me in it, let me know what you liked, let me know what you want to learn, tell me all the things. I challenge you. I challenge you to step outside the box and message me. I'm human, you're human. I would love to hear from you. Okay. So, the very first thing that I want to say to you when it comes to business or sales or career, anything like that, is, do people know you are open for business? Do people actually know what it is that you do, what it is that you offer? How can you help them? Are you even talking about it? A lot of times we beat around the bush and we're like, oh, I really enjoy this product, or oh, somebody buy this thing because it's on sale. And it's like, okay, well, are you just like promoting somebody else's stuff? Or like, are you part of that business? Like, what is it that you're doing? And what I want to relate this to is dating. Dating. I know that sounds crazy, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But think about it. How do people know that you're single and ready to mingle unless, I can't believe I just said that, unless you tell them, right? Are you out there talking to people saying like, oh, I'd love to find a boyfriend, or oh, I'm dating, oh, yes, I'm single, oh, I'm on all these apps looking for people, looking for the right date. They have no idea unless you advertise it. And it's the same thing with business. How do they know that you're accepting new clients? How do they know that you have a product to offer? How do they know that you have a solution to their problem? If you're not sharing it with them, they can't read your mind, and they're probably not going to just like Google, hey, who is Sasha Davis? I need a Sasha Davis in my life. Maybe they do, but chances are they don't. You know, if I was maybe, I don't know, a Tony Robbins or an Oprah or something like that, then they're probably Googling it. But until you get to that multi-million, billion-dollar industry, I don't think people are going to be Googling your name. And that's just the truth. That's just the harsh, cold truth, that unless you're putting yourself out there and putting the open for business sign up, nobody is going to know about you. Nobody is going to be Googling you. Yes, you can have help with like SEO and things like that. And if you guys don't know what SEO is, it means search engine optimization, which directs more traffic to your site and your business. But that is another topic. Unless you are out there saying, hey, my name is Sasha and I'm a coach and I'm a speaker and I'm a sales expert and I'm all these things and I can help you with your personal and your professional life. I am open for my group mastery program from now until February 10th. We are accepting applications. Head over to sashadavis.com/apply now. That was kind of, an exaggerated, shameless plug, but I'm serious. Like, I've been talking about it on social media. I've been talking about things on the podcast. When I'm out in person, I tell people what it is that I'm doing and how I can help them. Like, I have no shame in it. And in the beginning, I had a ton of shame, because I cared too much about what other people thought. And I will get to that here in a second. That's my number 2. But I want you to be completely honest with yourself. Do people know that you are open for business? Do they know what you offer? Hell, do you even know what you offer? Get crystal clear on what it is that you are doing and how you can help somebody, and put it out there to the world every single day that you are open for business, that you are accepting new clients, or whatever it is that you have going on. Not everybody is in network marketing. Not everybody has, a career where they have like sales, or a business that they have sales. And the people that you are trying to target, or your target market, we'll call them, your avatar, whatever, they're probably not on social media every single day looking for you and what you have to offer. So you have to get on there and talk about it a lot. I've actually heard, and don't quote me, I don't remember where I heard this from or where I saw this from. I've done a lot of business and sales stuff. So, but somebody has to see something between 7 and 9 times before they even think about taking action on it, right? And that's a lot. And if somebody's only looking at your stuff once a week, how often do you have to be talking about it? If they have to see it 7 to 9 times and they're only looking at you once, maybe twice a week, that's a lot. That is a lot. So do not underestimate how often you have to be showing up to build your business, to expand, to increase your sales, to put yourself out there, okay? It's repetition, and I know that it's just consistency is what it is. It's consistency, and it's consistency in anything that you do, whether it's your health, whether it's your fitness, whether it's your, I guess health and fitness health, fitness, nutrition, building your business, increasing your date nights and your relationship with your husband, spending more quality time with your kids. Whatever it is that you focus on, whatever you're consistent with, you're going to get more of. Okay, going back to the fear of kind of like what other people think, that's my number 2. You're just going to have to figure out a way to get over the fear of what other people think. And I want you to put this in perspective, okay? In 5 years from now, are you going to think twice about what Susie Q had to say on Instagram about whatever it is that you're trying to do? No, she's not going to remember you, and you're not going to remember her. And every time somebody tells you no, that's an opportunity to create space for more people to say yes to you. So every time somebody unfollows me or tells me no, I'm like, oh, bye, Felicia, if that's still a thing or whatever. And it just opens up more space for the people who need me, for the people who I can actually help. Because in my field, in my industry, not everybody wants to be coached. Not everybody needs a coach. Sometimes people just need a swift kick in the ass over a podcast to take action in their life. And other times people are like, nope, I want group support. And other times people are like, nope, give me the whole shebang. I want one-on-one. I want an ass kicking every day. I want to reach the highest level of what my potential is right here, right now. I don't have time to waste. Everybody is at a different spot in their life. Okay. And those people that don't have space for you, that's fine. They'll go find somebody else they need, or they'll be back someday when they do need the help. And that's okay. And you just have to get over 5 years from now, is this going to matter? No, probably not. Probably not if somebody told you no, or if somebody's didn't think that you're going to do it. The other thing I want to say is chances are anybody who doesn't think that you can do this or has like a say in whatever it is that you're doing, I guarantee you that they are not doing the same thing that you are doing. And how can you take advice from somebody who's never been there, done that, right? Like, you're not going out there asking advice from somebody who's like, and this is nothing on like people who make minimum wage or things like that, but how can you take business and sales advice or network marketing advice or whatever it is from like, I don't know, an 18-year-old that makes minimum wage, or a 50-year-old man that never wanted to be an entrepreneur in the first place, or he did and he failed because he was scared of what other people thought, right? So you can't compare your journey to others. You just have to focus on you, stay in your own lane. And one of the examples that I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, you might have to pause this, go back, rewind. I just realized that when I get super passionate about a topic, and I'm not kidding you guys, like sales is my superpower. When I get super passionate, I talk really fast. So try to keep up with me here. I know I'm going to cover a lot of information in a very short amount of time. So I have this example, and for some reason I'm like really into cars and motorcycles. I don't know if it's just because I grew up in the Midwest and that was a thing that we did for fun, or if it's because I was raised by a dad. I don't know. Like, I really can relate to cars and motorcycles. So what I want to say to you is, say you're going and you're shopping for a new truck, right? Shopping for a new truck, which I'm going to have to do in the next couple years, but that's neither here nor there. It's on my dream board, on my vision board. And I go to the dealership and I'm looking for a car. I'm looking for a truck. I'm like, hey guy, I'm here, I'm looking for a truck. I'm not ready to buy yet. I just want to see what's out there. Kind of get the feelers out there for what it is that I'm looking for. Do I want new? Do I want used? Do I want leather? Do I want cloth? Do I want a V6 with a turbo? Do I want a V8? Do I want a diesel? Do I want a gas? Do I want an extended cab? Do I want a quad? Like, what do you want? What do you want? Short bed, long bed, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive? I mean, I can keep going, but you have to figure out what it is that you're looking for, right? And so you kind of get out there and you start testing the waters. And you go up to the guy and you're asking him all these questions, right? And he's trying to close the sale. They walk up to you like a pack of wolves. And they're all like, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you. If you guys have ever been to a car dealership, I swear you just get like, especially there's like one, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I just feel like you're like, boom, there's like 10 people right there and they all want to help you, which is fine. And you're looking at a few and you're just not ready to buy it. And you're telling this guy that you're not ready to buy it, but he's still trying to close a sale, because that's what they're taught, is to be forceful and make the sale, make the sale, make the sale, make the sale. And that's all they focus on. And you're telling him no. And you're like, nope, not ready yet. Nope. And you leave, right? Do you give two shits about how he feels after you leave? No. And chances are he probably doesn't either. Maybe his ego got hurt a little bit because you didn't say yes right away. But are you scared for him? Do you feel the fear for him? No, you don't think twice about it. You just leave, right? So anytime you get a no or think like, what do people think about this? They don't think about it. Like 9 times out of 10, after your guys' conversation ends, if you even make it to the point where you have a conversation, because a lot of you are even scared or too scared to have a conversation with people, once that conversation ends, they don't think twice about it. It might come up again in conversation later that night, but the fact of how they made you feel probably doesn't come up in conversation. Maybe, like I said, maybe once in a while if you're like a super empath and you're like, oh God, I felt so bad for saying no, which I've done before, but I'm like, okay, get over it. I'm not ready to buy yet, or that wasn't in my budget, or whatever the reasoning was, right? I didn't really think twice about what they thought. Like, that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do, is try to get me to buy a car, help me buy a car. I didn't think like, oh God, I bet he was really scared to talk to me. Oh, I bet that, he's going to go home and like cry about like how he's scared of what I thought about his business or what he's doing. Like, no, that's what I went there for. That's what I went there for, a car. I know he's going to try and sell me a car. I think we just try to overcomplicate these things and we keep ourselves small because we convince ourselves that, oh, we can't do anything else because so-and-so is going to say this to me or so-and-so is going to say that to me. Chances are they're not going to say shit to you, but I will say this, and this is very uncommon, but I've actually had people say shit to me. Who do you think you are, Sasha? You can't do that. You're a snake salesman. You're a this, you're a that. And I'm just like, you know what? You can say whatever you want to say. You're not doing what I'm doing. I'm out there genuinely helping people as best as I can today. And that's what I'm doing. That is my intention. And that's what I'm going to show up and do. And I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to stay in my lane. And that's it. You know, you just got to figure out what's important to you and then find a way to make it happen. Other people's opinions are no longer important to me. I've played small for far too long because I was doing what everybody else wanted me to do, not what I wanted to do. Or I was scared of hurting so-and-so's feelings, or scared that I wasn't like following in the footsteps or like checking all the boxes. And I don't know why I have a weird accent all of a sudden, but I was just done listening to other people's opinions, because guess what? When I'm on my freaking deathbed, when I'm, I don't know, 115, let's say, maybe I'll live that long, maybe I won't. I don't want to look back and say I played small because I was scared of what people thought. And then more importantly, or next importantly, is I don't want my daughter to play small because that's what she saw her mom do. Right? Monkey see, monkey do. So if I'm out there like, oh God, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, or I'm going to play small because so-and-so doesn't believe in me, blah, 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 blah. That's that is directly teaching my daughter to play small. How messed up is that? What kind of person would I be if I was just like, no, Oakland, you have to always play it safe because you have to make everybody happy and be super stressed and still take on all the mom roles and all the woman roles and all the job roles and all these freaking roles and never say no because saying no is, oh God, you might hurt somebody's feelings. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm going to say no more often to things that don't serve me. I'm not going to care what other people think about what it is that I'm doing. And I'm going to create more space for the people who need me in my life. And I'm just going to take action. I'm going to take risks. I'm going to take chances. And I'm going to freaking live my life to the absolute fullest that I can, that's possible. Wow, that got really off tangent. Okay, so my next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is like the whole building the relationship and things like that. And so there may be other people or other companies or other trainings or things like that say like, message everybody in your contact list, message everybody in your phone, call people in the phone book. Basically what it's called is cold calling. And this is calling people and contacting people that have shown zero to no interest, that have shown absolutely no interest in what it is that you're doing. Okay, so you're just like blindsiding people. And I've done this before. I've done cold calling for insurance and things like that. And let me tell you, it's not fun. It has a little bit of success to it. Like there's this thing called 1031. For every 10 people you talk to, 3 people will, actually have a conversation with you. Excuse me. And 1 person will buy. So that's kind of like in the insurance sales. And I found that to be kind of true in, like online businesses or like network marketing or any other kind of like sales or services industry, whether it be online or in person. But you can close that gap to less than 1031 to where you're talking to every, like 5 people, 3 will book with you and 1 will buy, right? When you start to build that conversation. So I just want to say to you, please, for the love of God, do not cold message or cold call people unless absolutely necessary. And by that, I mean like you've exhausted every other resource. You've done all the webinars, all the podcasts, all the YouTube videos, all the live videos, all the networking events, all the marketing events. You've hosted your own events. You've reached out to magazines and been in their articles. You've been on you've been on the radio. You've been on, like all of these things. Unless you've exhausted like all other resources, I mean, I don't want you to cold call. I don't cold call anymore. I did. It sucked. But I mean, if you got to do what you got to do, I just think that it's super cheesy and it doesn't put a good vibe out there. Like people know they're being sold to when you cold call versus like building a relationship and like uncovering what people's needs are. Which in maybe another episode, I'll talk about like a needs analysis. So if you don't know what a needs analysis is, again, DM me on Instagram and just be like, Sasha, I want to know what a needs analysis is. Can you do a podcast on there, or can you tell me a little bit more about that? And I would love to help you. Let's figure out what your business is and what a needs analysis would be for you. All right, 4, build the relationship. You guys, build the freaking relationship. Don't just go out there and be like, hey, I have this product and it's on sale and blah, 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 blah. Great. Everybody has products. I can go to freaking Walmart and get that. I can go buy a freaking book. I can go take a DIY online. Like, why am I investing in you and what you have? Because there's a lot of times I can just get that shit on Amazon and not have to go through like this whole process, right? So build that relationship. People want to work with you for a reason. Tell your story. Tell your freaking story. Ask them questions. Don't just constantly talk about your product and what you're doing and what you got going on. Like ask your audience questions. Like figure out who it is that you want to work with, how you can help them, and be of service. And a lot of times I say, when you're building that relationship, you're going to have to give away the farm. Like give away freebies. Like tell people all the things that can help them, right? Maybe not like all the things, but like most of the things that can help most people, you should definitely share that. If you journal every day, you need to share that. If you meditate every day, you need to share that. If you work out, share it. If you read certain books, share it. If you're doing events, or if you have like this sales freaking podcast, like I have this knowledge, I'm going to share it with you guys in hopes that it will help you in some way, right? And then you will remember that and say, oh gosh, Sasha gave some really valuable information. Like she must actually care. Because guess what, guys? I do freaking care. I freaking care a whole hell of a lot. And I just want to help you. I would love to work with you in a group setting. I would love to work with you one-on-one. But like I said earlier, not everybody's there. Some people just need a swift kick in the ass over social media or on podcast. And that's it. And that is valuable to me. Like, how many people I listen to their podcasts and I'm like, oh my God, I love these people for all their freaking free information. And I'm constantly promoting them because I love them. I just think that they're awesome, and if you want to hear a couple that I like, I really like Rachel Hollis. I really like Jenna Kutcher. I really like Heather Chauvin. Who else? I really like Kayla Kraft. I really like I like Abraham Hicks, if you want to go like woo. There's just a million people out there that I like, and they have a ton of free content. And I've also paid for some of their paid stuff, like their high dollar paid stuff, because I loved their free content so much. I was like, holy smokes, I wonder what it's like to actually work with this person. And let me tell you, if their free stuff is good, their group stuff or their one-on-one stuff is phenomenal. Like talk about game changing. And I know that sounds like so cliche, but it's true. So like the more free stuff that you can give, the more people be invested in what you have to offer. Because if you're giving away free stuff, imagine what your paid stuff is like. I bet it's freaking awesome. Okay. So now you have, you're out there, you're building your relationship, you're talking via social media, you're talking to people in the face. You're talking to people in person, things like this. Hang on. Whew, I'm getting a little parched. The next thing that I want you to do is actually get these people on the phone. If you're conversing via social media, text, email, or, if you're in person, I want you to schedule a follow-up consultation with these people, a free consultation with these people, to see how you can be of service. And this is where that needs analysis will come in on that whole sales conversation. But a lot of times I see you guys doing it. You do it all the time. Hey, go to my website, check out what I have to offer. And then that's it. Or people will be like, yes, I'm interested. And you'll be like, oh, hey, go here. Okay. Or, hey, read this. And it's like, nope. And a lot of times I make people do applications to get on the phone with me, just so it kind of directs where our call is going to go. Because otherwise I'm a talker and I can get off track very, very quickly. And I value your time and I value my time. And so I have implemented an application process to get on the phone. And basically what that is just figuring out, a needs analysis, right? Like what direction is our conversation going to go? Does everybody need to do this? No. But again, I'm a talker and I love to learn all the things about you. So it just helps me prepare for where our conversation is going to go and like the deeper questions that I'm going to ask. But regardless, anybody that works with me, I make them get on the phone. Anybody that's in my group, my confidence group program or my confidence one-on-one program, I make them get on the phone with me because we are going to work very closely together for the time that we are together. And so you better be comfortable with talking to me, better be comfortable with my voice. I do some like messaging, things like that. But really, I want to get people on the phone and show them that I am genuinely interested in helping them. And if I can't help them, I always try to recommend somebody that can. You know, I'm not like trying to figure out any possible way to make a sale because ultimately my goal is to help you level up your life, uncover what's holding you back, and then give you action steps to get what exactly it is that you want, right? And if I'm not that person, by all means, I'm going to give you some tools and resources and other recommendations on where to start. I've talked to a lot of people that maybe aren't the best fit for me, or maybe they are not ready for coaching or things like that. But how do you know unless you try? How do you know unless you ask the right questions, right? Like sometimes I think we're just scared to get on the phone too because we're like, oh my God, I might actually make a sale. Like this is actually happening. It's almost like validating whatever it is that you're doing for you and the person on the phone because you're both like, oh God, things are actually happening. I'm getting terrified. But it just shows that an increased level of commitment, I think, you know, versus just like text messaging, like, oh, hey, like, here's this high-end product. Here's the link to buy it. How serious are you? How invested are you? Right. And a lot of times those people aren't that invested. And I just don't get good vibes through just text messages. And maybe that's me personally. Again, this is just what works for me. But I could tell you if you wanted to sell me something via text, or cold message me or things like that, chances are I'm just going to delete it and not look twice. I'm just going to be like, whatever. And then the other thing that I want to say is, so after you get people on the phone, like there is an entire process to a sales conversation. There is. And I will have to save that for another day because that could be an hour-long conversation in itself on how to have a conversation with people, how to overcome objections, how to close the sale, things like that. But I do want to leave you with, make sure that you're asking for the sale. So many people don't do this. They just get on the phone or they get people to like book with them and then they're like, what do I do? What do I say? What if they're not interested? What if they are interested? What do I do? You have to practice closing the sale. And so there's like temperature checks that you can do throughout the sale. But ultimately, I want you to ask for the sale. And the worst thing that they can say is no. That's the absolute worst thing. They're not going to take away your birthday. They're not going to burn down your house. They're not going to, I don't know, run and scream and tell everybody how terrible of a person you are. Like I haven't really had that happen yet. But a lot of times you're going to hear no. And you're just going to have to get used to hearing no. It's okay. There's worse things in the world than people telling you no. And every time somebody tells you no, I just like to think of it as a not yet. Or, you know, they're not ready yet. Or that no, like that hard no where they're like, nope, not for me, not interested. And you're like, okay, that's fine. That is just creating space for the 6+ billion other people to come find you, right? So, okay, there's one no. Okay, now moving on, 5,999,000,000, whatever. More people that I can go converse with, right? If your goal is to help 10 people this year, pretty sure you can help 10 people with how many people are in the world. You just have to go out there and find the right people. But get really used to hearing the word no and don't take it personally. Do not take it personally, okay? I know that's hard to say, but this is something that I really work on with the girls in the group and the one-on-one is learning not to take things personally and just like removing yourself from the outcome, because there's nothing worse than when you or the person that you're talking to feels pressured to say yes because you're coming from a place of desperation, like I need money, versus like I genuinely want to help people. And again, this is an entirely other topic that I can talk about. So if you're interested, if you really liked this podcast, I encourage you to like screenshot this and share it on social media and just like tag me and say that you loved it, because this will just help me figure out what you guys want to hear. Ultimately, I just want to serve you. So I need to know the things that you want to hear. Okay. Let's see. What's my last one? Last thing I'm going to leave you with today. Why does your product work? How did this product work for you? What is your story on how you got started? Like, that's what people are going to relate to. Like, where were you before you used this product? Where were you afterwards? Where was the transformation? How did it help you? Why would this help somebody? And then any reviews that you can add to it would be beneficial. So like I have reviews on my page. I have reviews on, I have reviews in a couple different places. I probably need to put the others up. But basically people want to know like where you were before to where you are now. So like I talked a little bit about this in the previous episode about how I was, working a corporate job and I was miserable. I was checking all the boxes. I went from, this total shithead, drank too much and got in a lot of fights and did really terrible things and didn't use my high energy for positive in the world. I was really just like destroying my life and those around me. And so then I made the decision to become a better person. And then I was checking all the boxes like you're supposed to, go to college, get married, get a good job, have a baby. But I was just on autopilot and I was not happy. And every day I was getting increasingly more and more angry and anxious and stressed. And to the point where I was just like, this cannot be my life. Like I was not put on this earth just to pay bills and die. Like there is more to life than this. And I know it in my gut that this cannot be my life. This cannot be my life. And so I started to search for things to help me. And that's when I started a coaching program, right? Because I've done a lot of this stuff on my own. Like I am a highly educated, very motivated, very driven, high action individual. And I could not figure this shit out on my own. And it was stressing me out because I was like, I know I'm not stupid, but I feel really stupid right now because I've lost myself. Like, who am I? What am I doing? Like, I'm 30 something, or maybe I was in my late 20s at the time. And I was just like, this cannot be I cannot live my life like this for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Like, this is just not going to happen. And so I started seeking help, because if you've never been somewhere, how can you get there without a little guidance, right? Like you don't see these Olympic athletes just out there coaching themselves. No, they hire people to help them. Like any kind of like professional athlete or professional business person, like they have a room of advisors. They have people to help them get to where they want to be. And this concept was so new to me because I was like, no, like you're supposed to figure it out all on yourself. Like that's just what you're supposed to do. That's what society says you're supposed to do. Just figure it out. You're smart. You're a woman. You can do all the things. And it's total bullshit. And asking for help and building a team that can support you is like the absolute best thing that you can do in your life. And I mean like a team outside of your family, because a lot of times, as much as your family means well for you, they may not have the same goals, ambitions, and visions as you do for your life. So you need to find people in your circle. And I talk about this circle all the time in like my group and my one-on-one clients. Is like you are like the 5 people that you hang around with most. So look at the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if you're not satisfied where their lives are, you're not going to be satisfied with where your life is either. And so that's why I'm just like constantly up-leveling my surroundings, constantly up-leveling who it is that I interact with, who it is I communicate with. And I've done some pretty incredible things in the last 2 years that I never, 2 or 3 years, that I've just never thought even possible. But I kept getting out of my comfort zone. I kept just like leaning into that like fear and like that gut, that like, when like your gut tells you like you should do something and you're like, oh gosh, I don't know if I should do this. It's so scary. And then your brain tries to talk you out of it and you're like, no, I have to do this. And then you do it. And then it's like, holy shit, look at all the things I'm doing. And I just keep doing that. And so now I've learned to love the fear, invite it in, and really use it to channel where I'm going next. So like if it's not scary, if it doesn't light me up, if it doesn't like wake me up in the middle of the night thinking about it, chances are it's probably not the right direction for me. And so that's why big things are happening in 2019. And I just can't wait. Once you get a vision and you start taking action on it, you're excited for every day. And I just remember a few years ago, I would literally wake up and cry. I would hit snooze time and time again until I absolutely had to get up. And I just remember being so pissed off that I had to go to this job that did not value me, that I fucking hated. I really loved helping people, but I was to the point I hated this job. I was so miserable. Oh, you guys, I wish you would have seen me a few years ago because I was not this peppy. I mean, I was every now and then, but really it was just crushing my soul every time I had to drive a freaking hour to work at this place for 10, 12, however many hours, because I was working literally from sun up to sundown. My phone never stopped ringing. Oh, the emails, they never stopped. It was just, I was miserable. I won't be a Debbie Downer. I was just miserable. So anyways, the whole reason that I got into the business that I'm doing now, or being this entrepreneur, this coach, this speaker, is because I had such a transformation with a coach and a coaching program that I will forever invest in a coach. I've already started my next program. I have 3 coaches this year that I've hired because I just freaking love it so much, and so much massive growth has happened that I'm I need a coach for every area of my life. So I have a coach for parenting, I have a coach for business, and then I have a coach just for spiritual life, and it's freaking awesome. I cannot tell you how incredible it is to have somebody there to support you 1000%, give you action steps, hold you accountable, and just really help you up-level your life. And it has been, I just can't say it enough. It has been so transformational for me. I would not be here doing this podcast had I not invested in myself a couple years ago. Like I said, I've done all the books, I've done all the things, and I couldn't figure it out on my own. Some people can, I couldn't. I just couldn't. And so I fell in love with the process. So now I am here, talking to you guys, having this actual sales conversation, because I know deep down that you have a service or something, a service or a product that you can offer to people because you genuinely care about it. And I don't care if it's insurance, I don't care if it's cars, I don't care if it's freaking network marketing or shakes or whatever the hell it is. There is something that you are doing because you love it, and for some reason it worked for you. So I want you to share that passion with the world, with whoever it is that you encounter. Why are you doing what you're doing? Share your transformational story, because that in itself is power. And a lot of times people don't even understand that that is sales in itself. We make sales seem so cheesy, and it doesn't have to be cheesy, because believe it or not, you guys, we're being sold to all day, every day, all day, every day. On the radio, on the news, on social media, everywhere we are constantly being sold. And who is it that you buy from? You buy from people that you can relate to, who have had some sort of transformational event in their life from where they were to where they are now, right? Think about it. If I were out here saying, all right, guys, I'm going to use photography, okay? I'm just going to use photography. All right, guys, I have a sale coming up this weekend, $89, 1 hour session, book now while supplies last. How does that feel? Feels like you're being sold to, right? Versus, hey guys, I'm open for clients. I'm doing, let's say you're doing corporate headshots and they're $89. But the reason I'm doing corporate headshots is because it has helped me transform my business by having professional corporate photos taken to use on my website, on my business cards. And it really just shows that I am committed in my company, and I want you guys to show that same level of commitment in your company. So for this weekend, I'm going to have 10 spots available. Please message me. I would love to help you transform and up level your photos and your business. What sounds better? What sounds better? I would rather somebody say how much it helped them to have professional headshots taken than just somebody just be like, hey, $89, get them while they're hot. Like that. You're being sold to them both, but what one sounds better? Think about it. And what are you doing in your business? Are you just posting sales like, hey, $20 off this month? Can you even believe it? Or are you saying like, hey, like this is where I was and this is where I am. This is why it can help you. This is why I want to help you. And as long as you're always coming from a place of serving others, giving valuable content and really just putting your heart out there that you genuinely want to help people, you want to change the world, you want to make their lives easier, whatever it is, just be authentic. Why are you doing this? Yes, you get paid and all those things, but like money is just energy, and that's a whole nother topic. Like you're just energetically exchanging energy. I said that wrong, but you get what I'm saying. Like we put money up on this pedestal and it's such BS. Like money is just energy. Do you actually go and exchange cash with anybody? I'm going to stop while I'm ahead because I could just go on and on and on and on about how money is an energy exchange. And I've already been talking your guys' ear off for about 40 something minutes. So if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this episode, please, again, I remind you, just take a screenshot, tag me in it on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find me on both at Sasha L. Davis or Confidence Coach Podcast, and tag me and let me know what you love about it. DM me. I want to hear all of the things. And I'm going to do one last shameless plug because that's how I am. If you enjoyed any of this, if you're like, oh my God, Sasha, this was game changing. I want you to be my coach. I want to be in your program. I want to learn more about how you can help me in my personal and professional life. Then I invite you and I encourage you to head over to sashadavis.com/apply now. You can also find this link in the show notes. And let's just have a conversation. Like I said before, it is a simple conversation. We're going to talk about what it is that you have going on. I'm going to ask you a few questions about what you have going on before I will even tell you if what I have can help you. Okay? And if I can't help you, I will certainly give you some tips or some tricks or some recommendations on who to start with or where to start. Okay? The conversation is free. The conversation is 100% free because I believe in free consultations and I really want to figure out if I can actually help you. And if I can't, I do not want your money. I do not want your money because ultimately that's not what I'm in for. I'm in for the transformational process and I want to help you get from point A to point B with least resistance as possible. I want you to be living a life you love and up-leveling to a point where you're like, I am proud of this life that I have created. I am proud of the woman that I have become. My children will be proud of me. That is the stuff that I'm going for. So again, head to the show notes or head over to sashadavis.com/apply now. Let's chat. Next group starts February 10th. You guys will be with me for approximately 6 months. There's going to be some live events, some potential for retreats and things like that. So lots of massive growth opportunities. I am so excited. Okay, that was a little over the top. Anyways, go out there, be a badass, be confident in everything that you do. Stay in your own lane, focus on you. You got this. Talk to you later, guys.